Hi, I'm David Lake, working for the department and pretty much exclusively in the regional, for the regional part of the state. And I've been the project lead for joint planning boards and planning agreements. So I'm just going to provide you with a bit of an update today on where that project is at. The planning review identified a need from local government for some improved regional governance structures in the planning space, and as a consequence of that, the PTI Act contains the ability for councils to sign a planning agreement with the Minister and to form a joint planning board. And there's a range of functions that can be undertaken by a joint planning board, but the one mandatory function is that the board prepares what's called a regional plan. In 2017, DPTI initiated a pilot project to explore how planning agreements and joint planning boards will work. As you can understand, there's a number of issues that need to be sorted through. And we put out an expression of interest to work with local government in this space to work through the pilot. And we have been working with 8 groups of councils through the process. And those councils have mostly been regional, but they come from the Riverland, the Limestone Coast, Barossa and its neighbours, Eyre Peninsula, York Peninsula, the Upper Spencer Cities, the Murray Lands, and the Eastern Regional Alliance, which is Metro. Jeff Tate was appointed to help us lead the project, and we're essentially pretty much near the end of the pilot. As you can imagine, we're looking at establishing a whole new regional governance framework, and so we've had to explore, as part of the pilot, a whole lot of legal as well as governance issues, notwithstanding all the planning issues that are associated with it. So it's actually been quite a complex and tricky task, and it's been great to collaborate with all of the councils in this space. Now, as I say, we've essentially come pretty close to the end of the project, and so we are about to publish what's called a toolkit that will assist councils that are sort of considering the formation of a joint planning board, remembering it's not a mandatory sort of task under the Act to form a JPB. And so the toolkit consists of a guidelines document to how you go about proposing a planning agreement to the Minister and how you go about forming a joint planning board. It contains a business case template which allows the councils to work through a process to make sure a JPB is the right collaborative structure for them. And it also includes a template for a planning agreement which has had a lot of legal input, but it has a bit of flexibility in it to allow it to be tailored to specific regional circumstances. As I mentioned, the one mandatory function that joint planning boards have to perform is the preparation of a regional plan for their area. The regional plans will replace what are known as the current regional volumes of the state planning strategy, and they essentially will set a longer term vision for the land use and related planning that a region wishes to achieve and how to get there. Because this is a mandatory function for JPBs, we have also produced a guidelines document to assist boards to prepare a regional plan, and we've also prepared a template which can be adapted to cater for specific regional circumstances and issues. And we're intending to have all of these documents available on the SA Planning portal and wherever by the end of this year. They're all just being put into the DPTI branding and framework just as, at this time. Now, we've got a few things that we still need to do as an outcome of this project. We need to make some regulatory amendments to support some of the clauses in the planning agreement. We need to finalise and formalise a code of conduct for joint planning boards, and we need to publish a couple of supporting practice directions. And as a final note, in the regional space, we have now commenced the process for proclaiming the regions, which needs to be done under the Act. And the proclamation of regions will allow for the preparation of regional plans to be undertaken, and it will also allow for the establishment of the collaborative arrangements that I've just been talking about with joint planning boards. We anticipate the planning regions will be based on the current planning regions, and we expect that there will be some consultation with councils in early 2019 to seek views and feedback on that proclamation before it goes ahead. So that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of an update at this stage. Keep your eye out for the toolkit. We'll certainly be sending out comms to say it's available. And if you have any queries in the Joint Planning Board planning agreement space, please contact DPTI through the portal, through Council Connect, or you certainly, as the project lead, you're more than happy if you contact me direct. Thanks.